All right, before we get started on this episode of the Orange is Oranger, I need to talk to you guys a little bit about DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Buckeye State. It won't be long until you can bet on all of your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. And to celebrate, all new customers will receive a $200 in free bets when you sign up today using code P3Browns. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you $200 in free bets just for signing up today. No deposit required. Soon you'll be able to bet on money lines, spreads, props, and more with one of America's top-rated sportsbooks apps, DraftKings Sportsbook. Plus, you'll be entered to win a $100,000 free bet when you sign up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code P3Browns to get $200 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Ohio. Plus, 5 customers will win a $100,000 free bet only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code P3Browns. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. 21 and over. Physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. 1 per customer. $200 issued as 8 $25 free bets. No purchase necessary for sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. And first day, DraftKings is allowed to operate in Ohio. See terms at dkng.com/OH.
Part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
45-50, 45-40, run, William, run! He's got blockers in front, 5, touchdown! Joshua Cribbs turns disaster into a score! Kick block! They blocked the kick!
All right, welcome in to the Orange is Oranger presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. It is the Cleveland Browns podcast, Orange is Oranger. I'm Holly. That's Tyvis. And it is
Isn't it great?
Victory Tuesday.
That is so great. You know, wait a minute. First of all,
It is about damn time.
More enthusiastic. They staying alive with this win right now.
Yeah, they are.
It was nice to see them come out there and play the way that they did. A little frustrating to some people, but you know, at the end of the day, we're all proud of the way that they played, and just hopefully they continue to do it. I just hope the bye week doesn't make them stagnant. You know, I want them to continue to grow. It'll be nice because now you got an extra week to prepare for the Dolphins, who looks pretty good.
They do. Yeah. Well, it's about damn time. You're gonna add that song, the Lizzo song, to the themes of this week. Browns move to 3-5 as they head into the bye week, as you said. Tyvis, I want to take this episode to really talk about, highlight and enjoy, like you said, enjoy the win, talk about this team with a lot of love and light, right? Trying to get on your positivity level, at least for the week.
This is
all
nice.
Right?
It's nice to see you this way. You know, it warms my heart because see, now I don't have to go as hard to try to get you to see the light. Like you already there. So I appreciate this. This is gonna be a great. This probably be the best episode we've ever recorded.
The pressure. Well, by the way, saw you yesterday in person. Surprised you.
Yeah, you did. And I got your coworker to agree with me.
Yeah, my manager within 30. Okay, let me just paint the picture for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. I'm walking into the club where Tyvis is on air for the Browns Radio Network pregame. I'm with my manager.
Yep.
Okay. And I told her, I'm like, Amy, I want you to meet Tyvis, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, I heard so much about him. Yes, I would love to meet him. Introduce you guys, and it takes about 15 seconds for Tyvis to ask if she's listened to the latest episode and who does she agree with. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
It's a big deal.
It's a
big deal. It was a huge deal. I mean, we really, it wasn't a debate. Like
it was because she was going back and forth. And once I explained to her my thought process after we talked, you're like, defense wins championships. She's like, I know, blah, blah, blah. Then I explained to her about, yes, but we should not be having Jacoby Brissett on the line at the end of the game for him to win us the game. And she was like, totally agree. So play calling.
And then what happened?
What do you mean?
She flipped.
No, that's what I'm saying. She said defense, and then she came back to me after. She said me, and then you, and then me.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, your memory isn't very good.
Not at
Sorry.
all. It's that's sad that you gonna sit here. You know what? We should get her as a guest, or so she can tell the world truly what she feels.
Well, she was born and raised in Boston. She's a Patriots girl.
Well, we should have had her on that week.
We should have.
We missed out on that one. But that's neither here nor there. That's
All
water.
right.
That's
Anyway.
water under the bridge. I was right. You were wrong. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Speaking of the defense and the play calling, you know, this game, they did exactly when I watched this game, it was like they finally utilized their strengths of this team. You know, the defense came out. It started with the Myles Garrett tip. The tip that he tipped it and it got picked off by AJ Green. That started everything because Cincinnati came out in the opening drive and they was rolling and they needed something big to happen and they ended up stepping up and making that big play. And it just, you could feel the energy. You could see that they was having fun. That's the number one thing that you don't see. You haven't been seeing for the past 4 weeks. These guys haven't been having fun. And when you don't have fun and you don't enjoy what you're doing, like it feels like a job and it gets redundant. But to see them go out there and make plays and Myles is dancing around and people's chest bumping and all the fans is into it, like you felt that energy there. And it's so contagious to see somebody out there having a good time because it's like, man, I want to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he kind of turned up everybody on the team. So it was nice to see him look like that.
And remember when you laughed at me last week about him?
Laughed at you about who?
Myles.
What'd I say?
When I said he was going to be it was going to be his game. He's going to be the big impact player of the week.
Did you say that this week?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations. Look at you.
I got to take my wins.
That's why they pay you
when
the big bucks, you know?
Well,
because you know a thing or two, you know? But yeah, but it was
all relative those big bucks.
Then offensively on the play calling side, I mean, he rolled Nick Chubb and then Jacoby Brissett was kind of cleared up and he was making all the throws. The only bad play he called was the Amari Cooper play, but you know, we later found out he was trying to throw the ball away. And to be honest, he was about to get tackled, so it does make it a tad bit harder. If I'm him, I probably would just err on just getting the intentional grounding and just throwing it. I would have just looked straight to the sideline and threw it straight to the sideline if I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah, like you said, it was finally, week 8 now, we finally hit our first real complete game. We played well on both sides of the ball. Everything finally came together, which is something that, of course, we've have not seen yet this year. One side or the other has definitely faltered. And so, well, yeah, of course, but are you going to keep doing this to me every time?
Joe, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I'm talking about the defense thing. I feel like are you coming back at me that it's all about it's the defense's fault?
Holly, would I do something like that?
Oh, you're sneaky over there. You're sneaky.
Go ahead with your point. I was visualizing. It was good. You was doing a good job.
Yeah. Well, defensively, we can talk about both sides. Defensively, they had a great game. Joe Woods probably saved his job. Right?
I don't think his job.
Do you think if the defense faltered again, Tyvis, that he would be on the chopping block over the bye week?
I think that for the past 2 weeks, the defense has played really well, and it always takes them to play New England and get smoked before they decide to wake up. So I don't think his job was on the chopping block since the Baltimore game was good. I think that bought him some extra time, and then this one obviously saves him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it is funny against the Patriots for whatever reason. You know, it's like that's what we need to catapult us for our defense to finally come together.
I guess they look at it like the Patriots is one of the, stereotypically they are one of the smartest teams in this league, and they're going to do everything correctly. So whatever they do to you is going to be the worst that somebody can do to you. I'm talking strategically, not athletically, because some guys just got guys. Like, for example, Jamar Chase, that's a different game. But
right.
The Patriots don't have guys like that, but strategically they just outsmart you. So I think the way that the coaching staff for the Browns look at it is like, this is a learning experience. If this is what they're going to do, they're going to exploit our weaknesses. So now we know what we need to work on moving forward, because everybody's going to look at this tape and try to exploit our weaknesses the same way. So it gives them it gives them a measuring stick, and they know what to fix. And I think that's why after they play the Patriots every year, they become such a better defense, because they know what to expect from other teams.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, the defense was definitely on fire. The pressure that they had on Joe Burrow all game. How about the use of Deion Jones and Taki that we used to stop the run? I mean, Taki's having I think he's having a great season. I really do.
Well, I've been saying Taki has been having a great season. I always said that him and JOK should flip spots. I think Taki should play the wheel and put JOK at the Sam, because the Sam fits who JOK is. That's the more athletic guy. That's the guy that's out in space. I think I said this in like either 2 podcasts ago, or
I think
I was saying that he needs to be a Sam. He's more of a Sam.
Yeah. Yep.
And Taki just has the body. He has the body, the frame, and he's the size of a typical linebacker, and he moves very well, and he's smart. So I personally think he should play the wheel, but I guess they want to keep speed out there on the field. And since JOK is the better athlete, and they're going to majority of the time in this league run nickel, that they want to have JOK out there. So that's why he's at the wheel. But, I'm just an undrafted free agent. So my 2 cents don't really matter. I'm just telling people what I think.
Okay. Browns limited Cincinnati, by the way, to just 1 trip inside the red zone, and held Burrow to only 15 first downs and 4 of 10 on the 3rd down.
You know what, though?
So pretty great stats.
What they learned, and it took me my last year in San Francisco, because we were awful except for like 1 game. Actually, the game that I started, that if you have a pass rush, that defense is magical. And that's what we learned last night from watching the game, is that the pass rush came alive, and they were really getting after. I liked the little scheme they did. He was moving Miles and Jadeveon around all on the line, something that I've been asking for, because all for the first 5 or 6 games, Miles has been to the left, Jadeveon's been to the right, and that's it. So teams is like, oh, we know we can put the tight end over here, and we can slide protection that way and all that. Pre-snap, like before they even come out and call the play, they knew it. But if he's moving them around, now you got to make adjustments and stuff like that, and that kind of confuses people. But I thought that they all did really well on the pass rush. I mean, they was getting out. Joe Burrow could not be comfortable in there, and that's was the thing that made him look not as great. And don't get me wrong, Joe didn't have a terrible game. I think he was 25 or 35, so that's not terrible. But he was
by far his worst.
Yeah, he wasn't comfortable in that pocket. Like, you could tell that he was moving like, here they coming. So if the pass rush continue to go like that, then the sky's the limit for this defense. I mean, it makes it so much easier on the back end and even on the linebackers.
I was just gonna say something about, I heard someone, I don't remember who it was now, but I feel like it was really evident with Miles this game. It just felt like he finally did seem to step into kind of that leadership-ish type role that we've been craving from him. And he certainly looked a whole lot healthier.
Yeah, yes, he did.
So I just, all around, I think that's the Miles that we've been missing so far this season. And it was really, really refreshing to see him back on top. I was a little worried with all the Halloween shit,
Yeah,
I was like,
a lot of people were. There was a lot of people that was like, how dare you guys come in here and dressed up like this with the season that you're having. But you know what, the thing I like about the Browns is this: they truly drown out the outside noise. And it takes special people to be able to do such a thing, especially in today's society where social media is such a big part of our lives. It's so hard to drown out the noise. But I think Kevin Stefanski does a great job of preaching that. And I think those guys are living that, because all the outside, you don't see them really acting
Not-
totally different. Like
Not totally.
yeah,
But there's been some small incidents
some
already.
small ones. But it's human nature, but they do a pretty good job of keeping it to a minimum. Those guys play for each other because at 2-5, the season can go left. Like you could be like, you know what? It don't matter.
It was everything last night.
It don't matter no more. It is what it is. You guys aren't taking things serious, so we just gonna come out here and just get our checks and then head on home after the game. But they stuck together, man. They really did. Like it was in a moment where your back is against the wall and you gotta have it. These guys truly came out and played for each other, and it was evident because of the celebrations and the atmosphere and stuff like that. So they continue to do that. The sky's the limit for them.
Well, I hold that thought after we talk about the offense because I'm going to ask you something else related to that. So offense, we gotta talk about just Brissett probably had one of the best games of his career, I think, last night. I mean,
whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
yes. He was near perfect.
Whoa, hold on,
133 rating.
Wait a minute.
He had a great game last night.
Listen,
for him.
I don't go off the QBR. It's cute, but I like to look at other things as well. So he was 17 for 22, 278 yards, one touchdown, 2 sacks. Okay, that's nice. But the last game, just a week ago, where everybody bashed this man, he went against Baltimore. He went 22 for 27, 258 yards, no touchdowns, 5 sacks though. So he's about where he is. I mean, he threw 5 incompletions a week ago. He threw 5 incompletions this week. He still had a turnover in this game. He lost the fumble. So how is it that all of a sudden this is his best game? Where last week he almost had better stats. He just threw 1 less touchdown than last week.
I think there was a major difference in how he commanded the offense. I think he kept his cool. I think on Monday night and you're under all those lights and pressure and you're coming off of a 2-5, like there's a lot there. And like you said, if it's not all stats, right? I think that there was just a whole different feeling in the way that he was running that offense last night. And I think that this was probably one of his best games, if not the best game that he's had in his career.
I'm not willing to say that.
Well, that's okay.
I think he's been pretty much.
No, how positive am I today? How positive? I'm so positive.
No,
yes.
you are. It's great, and I'm not being negative at all. I'm just saying that he's been the same guy who he's been. It's not like it. I don't know how is this his best game, and he's still doing literally the same. He just did the same thing a week ago, except he threw 1 less touchdown.
Yeah, well, we're not also putting him in the last play of the game trying to win it for us.
Oh, why is that, Holly? Why is that?
Because we ran the ball. 44 rushes, 22 passes. That is a great ratio that we need to stick to.
You know why they ran the ball? You know why they ran the ball? Because they had the lead, and then it turns into a clock management situation. So it's like you're not trying to catch back up. You know why you're not trying to catch back up?
Yeah, because you're winning.
Why we're winning?
Because of the defense.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to get you to say.
Unbelievable. Then
I'm just listen.
I never thought that I would be going back and forth with you about. I am not.
I'm just saying.
I am fully giving the defense all of the credit in the world from last night. They played fantastic. But in addition, Stefanski finally goes back to what we are good at. And that's what we need to stick to and what we need to. Who cares about what everyone else is doing, right? Like we know what we're good at. And like,
I agree.
That is what we need to do. We don't need trick plays. We don't need Amari Cooper getting the ball and trying and that was stupid. Okay. We don't need any of that.
It wouldn't have been stupid if he had an arm. The guy was running down the field.
I was texting you about that, and you're like, "What?"
Michael Woods was running down the field. He was. Anyway,
we don't need to be getting cute right now. We can't afford to be getting cute right now.
You didn't need. You know what? You can listen. You call the game totally different when you're in the league than when you're losing, for sure. Will you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if
That's
you're
why I asked you last week of reactive versus proactive on the play calling.
so if you're down, what would you do?
What was the score when that happened? Was it 0-0 still?
When Amari Cooper threw the pick?
Yeah. I think it
Ah,
was 0-0. Because it was 0-0 like up until almost the when did we first didn't get the field goal? It was like the first like 20 some minutes. Like it was in the first half, almost at the end of the first half.
it was 0-0. It was 0-0 when we threw the pick.
Yeah. Stupid.
But anyway,
Not game ending, but dumb.
I'm just saying they did. You can run the ball when it's tied and when you have the lead because I mean you're essentially playing.
But not the Browns. Not the Browns.
Why not?
The Browns can always run the ball. They should always first run the ball. That's it. That's.
I hear what you unless you down double unless you down.
No.
See.
Okay, with double digits, sure, and I get it. You
that's
only have to get some good plays. All right, fine.
So
understandable.
The Browns
but
down double digits.
Not so much this season. They've been leading a lot. When have they been down double digits except for the one game we lost? What game did we lose that we were down double digits?
We
that
lost
was
to the Patriots.
Outside of the Patriots, we didn't lose any. We weren't down by double-digit points.
Okay. Were we not? Did we have a lead against Baltimore?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We sure did. It was 10-3, and then it was 13-10 at halftime. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, anywho, the defense played well, and if that's as long as the defense plays well, I think Stefanski is comfortable running the ball. Even though I agree with you all, I do believe like I'm not like a lot of people. A lot of people say Stefanski's play calling is just horrendous. And I don't think that I always say that's necessarily not true because if it's so horrendous, how is he still in leagues of games? Like obviously he's calling plays that works. So it's not as bad as people say. It gets down to the last 3 minutes of the game, if you will, when you're down. It's really hard to run the ball when you're down and you're trying to get down the field. But people don't see that. The only time that I have a problem with Stefanski's play calling is when they do go series where Nick Chubb doesn't touch the ball. That's a problem. I agree with that statement right there. But if at the end of the day, the man calls a good enough plays to have the league at some point of the game and he scores points. So it can't be that bad.
No, but we should be running the ball more than we're throwing it. 44 rushes, 22 passes. That's a really nice
I agree.
ratio how he called the game last night is how it should be called, right? Like, and I think, and he used Chubb and Hunt in the game.
Can I be
which
honest?
He hasn't done in a while.
I'll be honest. When I think about Cincinnati's defense, and it pains me to say this, and I don't mean my brothers that's on the defense because they are certified guys and dudes. But I don't look at the Cincinnati Bengals defense as being like a physical bunch. So I always feel like you can be successful if you run the ball against those guys because I don't think that they are built to tackle for 4 quarters, especially if you got a workhorse at a running back position. There's not one guy on the Bengals defense that you look at and be like, oh, that guy's a hitter. That guy's a dog. Do you?
But we knew that. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
okay,
it's evident because Nick Chubb always has a big game against them. Every time they play, Nick Chubb always has a big game because he's the Browns
the Browns in general. So, I mean, we have Joe Burrow's number. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Their offensive line is horrendous. And
yes, it is.
They did not have Jamar Chase, a guy who they could, hurry up and get the ball out and he can make something happen. Like that wasn't there. And it was evident that they were missing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep. No, I know. I mean, look, all the stars aligned. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it.
I am too. This the momentum that they need. I mean,
so I'm glad. Now you're taking me back to the question I had for you because I think, do you feel now, all right, going into bye week, obviously this conversation would have been very different had they lost, but they won. And they won in a really great way. It wasn't down to the wire. It wasn't off of something that maybe shouldn't have happened. Fake punt, something ridiculous. It came down to them playing a really great 4 quarters of football on both sides of the ball. Now, when you look toward 2 weeks, Miami, and the rest of the season right now.
Mm-hmm.
They can go. I mean, if they take 2 out of the 3 for Dolphins, Bills, and Bucks, they'll be 5-6 with Watson returning. Okay, for the final 6 games. Put them in a really good position. Now, do you feel like at this point, is there too much celebrating? Is it too much present moment? Was this just a glimpse of was this the anomaly of everything kind of coming together? Or is this really a start to the second half of the season of them playing to the potential that we know or thought that we knew that they had?
I would say that the reason that I'm confident going into these games against the Dolphins in 2 weeks is because from a defensive standpoint, I can't speak for the offense, but defensively, I would say that because they played well for 2 straight weeks, and then this week they just completely went off. It gives me hope. With that being said, these offensive lines will be a little bit better as they move forward. And these D linemen will have to continue to be able to bring pressure and be able to win one-on-one battles. And as long as Joe Woods continues to call the game the correct way, because right now they're doing a great job of being able to play zone and be able to play some man. So that was the first hurdle that they needed to get over, because they couldn't play zone to save their life. Now that they've done it and they experienced it, and the D-line has had some success, it's cleared up a lot. But the secondary also is playing well, because they are, when you look at some of these passes that's being completed or when the ball is thrown, they are in good position to at least compete for the ball. So that means that they are in good coverage. With that being said, the challenge is going to be getting everybody healthy, because I still think you need Denzel Ward. You still need JOK, because these guys do provide. They can be mismatches, and they can be, they're big time players, especially Denzel when he's healthy.
I'm hoping he's back, by the way, at this point. I mean, it's got to be
scary.
what, 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's scary. When you have a lockdown corner like that, and a guy who can compete, and when he's on his game, he can lock down a lot of good receivers that you need, especially going up against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You're going to need your best out there, and you're really going to have to depend on this pass rush. And I really think that they can get it done because of how they've been playing. Now, offensively, as long as they continue to run the ball, and now that Kareem Hunt has made it past the deadline, you better utilize him. If you're going to keep him here for this year, you need to utilize him. And you can do it exactly the same way that you did it against Cincinnati. You keep running the ball, you run plays for him, have him on jets, throw it to him out the backfield, just get him involved, because you want him to be in good spirits. When he talked after the game, you could tell that he's not mentally, he's trying to be professional about it, but you could tell
he's wearing a Joker mask, for God's sakes.
He's trying to be professional when he answers, but you could tell that it bothers him a lot, because he's 28 years old, and he's a guy that wants to get paid. So if you really care about him like that, then utilize him. So when after the season's over, if you choose not to pay him, which you probably won't, you're setting him up at least for somebody else to really be able to pay him the money that he deserves.
Speaking of him, I was listening to friend of the show, Jason Lloyd, and he was talking about that Kareem, I guess, when he was leaving last night, said thought he forgot his chain, or I don't know if he did actually forget it or thought he did, but he went back in the locker room when it was like, great, like that's all I needed, basically, and basically alluding to like, if that's the last time he steps in that locker room, well then all good, right? So in the Joker mask, I think what's really neat is that you've brought the perspective and the side of, we see this stuff, and it's not just Kareem, obviously, and it's been so many different things. It could be the OBJ and Baker thing. It could be any of this stuff where we think and we see and we feel like, or even the Miles stuff of, he's not playing the potential, he's not being a leader, he's not being a good team player, all of that stuff. We say that, we see that. But what's good is that you've kind of brought into like, these guys are playing, they care about themselves and each other, right? They want to be the best team. That's their, Kareem's focus is obviously himself, but also he has I'm sure a really great relationship with his teammates, I guess is what I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
And I think that can get lost from a fan standpoint, from the media standpoint, when we're constantly looking for storylines and we're looking for what's really going on in that locker room when things start to falter. And him making that comment had nothing to do, of course, with his teammates, though you could probably try to spin it to a certain way. But it really was just, he understood that this could have been his last, and it is what it is.
It's the unknown. He didn't know it. He don't like, all he can do is hear the same stuff that we hear. It's not like they're gonna come to you and say, hey Kareem, we're planning on trading you. No, that's not how it works. You find out through rumor. Maybe your agent hits you up and say, hey, your name is up in trade rumors and stuff like that. You know, people been inquiring, but it's not like they come up to you and say, yeah, we're looking to trade you. That's not that's totally not how it works. So
it'd be nice if it was, though.
No, it wouldn't be, because if you're a guy that wants to be there, then no. But like I say, I mean, I think he did the best that he could, you know, when I watched him yesterday, as much as they utilized him, I said, there's no way that they trade this man.
So, well, I was gonna say, sorry to interrupt, but when you texted me that last night, I was in my work suite and Eric Metcalf was sitting right next to me, and he said the complete opposite of you, and I was laughing because he was like, oh, they're trying to trade him.
There's absolutely no way that because you're not about to run the risk of somebody getting hurt. Like, you're not. If you're going to trade somebody, typically they say, oh no, we go sit over there because we already got a deal that we kind of in the works with, so we're not even going to risk you getting hurt. But when I seen them go out there and they utilize them heavy dose, people like, well, maybe they doing that because they're trying to get a better pick. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's typically not how it goes. So yeah, I like I said, ultimately I think it's the best decision for them, because if Nick Chubb, God forbid, but if Nick Chubb ever went down, you'd be more okay if Kareem is in there more rather than Dearness or Jerome Ford. So I think it's the right move. And the one thing we know about Kareem is this: he's a kid from Cleveland, and now that he's here, and this could potentially be his last year here, he gonna go all out because he cares about this city. So if you need a guy like that where it matters to them. Like, this ain't no job. Like, this is who he is. He grew up watching this team, and he wants to see this organization be put up in lights. So that guy will run through a brick wall for this city.
So why did he try to, so then what, I mean, besides the obvious with his career, why request a trade already before the season had even started?
Because I'm trying to get paid. I'm 28 years old. I'm a running back, and I only got about one, maybe two chances to ever hit the bag as a running back, because in this league, they come a dime a dozen.
Right.
And if I'm hot and you not going to pay me, then I need to go somewhere where I can get paid. That's what it's all about.
Even if you're the drive and it's his hometown and all that stuff,
that's fine. At the end of the day, I got a family to provide for as well. I gotta get as much as I can with my body while I still can, because it's not like people are running to throw $20 and $30 million to a running back nowadays. So I need to make, if I got a chance to get that money somewhere, then I need to get that money.
We got another year with Chubb, right? This is is it his second and next year's his third?
It's a lot.
Wasn't it 3 year 36? No, or no?
I don't know, but one thing I do know is I looked up the free agents for this year. We gonna have a whole new team next year. You ought to hear how many listen. Deion Jones, Jack Conklin, Jadeveon Clowney, Kareem Hunt, Jacoby Brissett, Anthony Walker, Taven Bryan, Chris Hubbard, Greedy Williams, Ronnie Harrison, Dearness Johnson, Stephen Weatherly, Ethan Posick, Joshua Dobbs, Isaac Rozelle, Jesse James, Farrell Brown, Jordan, that I can't pronounce, Chase Winovich, Taki, Michael Dunn, Chris Odom, Thomas Graham, and AJ Green. AJ Green are all free agents.
Wow.
So it will be a whole new team.
Interesting.
And they have to, I don't know where they at on the cap situation, but yeah, it's gonna be some changes made.
Sure are.
That's why it's imperative that they go all out this season.
Well, let's hope we can keep it alive. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick short break, but right before that, Tyvis, you want to talk to us about our new presenting sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook.
Oh yeah, I got to tell everybody about Ohio DraftKings Sportsbook that's coming to the Buckeye State. It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. To celebrate, all new customers will receive $200 in free bet when you sign up today using code P3Browns. Plus 5 lucky customers will win $100,000 free bet. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you $200 in free bets just for signing up today. No deposit required. Soon you'll be able to bet on money lines, spreads, props, and more with one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, DraftKings Sportsbook. Plus, you'll be entered to win a $100,000 free bet when you sign up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code P3Browns to get $200 in free bet to use once mobile sports betting hits Ohio. Plus, 5 customers will win a $100,000 free bet only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code P3Browns. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. 21 and older. Physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory license requirements. 1 per customer. $200 issue as 8 $25 free bet. No purchase necessary for sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. Ends first day DraftKings is allowed to operate in Ohio. See terms at dkng.com/OH.
All right, we are back. Orange is Oranger, Cleveland Browns podcast. The boys got some time off here coming up. Tyvis,
They earned it.
They did, of
They
course.
earned it with this last win.
What are they doing? What should they be doing?
What they doing? Okay, so this is where.
What are you doing on a bye week to get?
I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you. This is the difference between college and the NFL is this. In college, you practice maybe 3 or 4 days. In the NFL, every team that I've been a part of gives you the entire week off, where it's like, see y'all on Monday, see y'all next Monday. And the first time I see that happen, I was like, really? So people are typically, they fly back home. You probably find a local gym. They give you a workout to do because you're not about to just sit around. That's just not going to happen. They give you a workout that you have to do. Sometimes they do it right before you leave. You have to complete this workout, and then they give you a workout where you can run on a track and you can do some lifting, probably 3 or 4 times out of the week, just to stay in shape. Typically, people would do some drills. You'll see a lot of people taking their cleats with them, and they get some drills in. And yeah, so when you come back on Sunday, you'll have a practice that Monday, and that's a bonus day. They'll try to whip you back into shape, make sure everybody did some running, and if you didn't, they'll get you caught back up in condition, and then you go on from there.
Do you think? Well, there'll probably be a little bit of partying in there.
I mean, you're gonna enjoy yourself for sure. But that's the thing. See, that's the thing about the league.
How do you think the Browns are going to do? What are they going to do? Do you think these teams coming off this high, whatever, is it going to be a little too high, and they're going to take the celebrating to another level? Are we going to hear anything over the 2 weeks?
Let me tell you how
predictions.
I'm gonna tell you. Typically, I would say I've been around a lot of athletes, and when I was playing, I got to see some good ones. I seen some bad ones, but the one common denominator is that even the ones that party are like all the time, they work hard during the day. Like they still get up, whether they didn't drank or did whatever they did the night before, they still get up in the morning and they still work out very hard. So they work hard, but they play hard as well. So they're definitely going to work out and do everything that they need to do. But they definitely will have some fun and enjoy themselves on the bye week, because this is the last time that you'll have this freedom until the season's over.
Well, we won't. We don't have a bye week, Tyvis. Me and you.
Not
and Tosh, we don't.
Why would we want to do that?
I know. Well, I'm just saying, don't worry.
There's great content.
Fellow listeners,
there's great content.
We'll be back next week, Absolutely. Even though the Browns won't.
We got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. So we'll get you ready for the sunny Miami. Boy, that'd be a nice game to go to, wouldn't it? In November. But then again, by the way, it's been beautiful. We've had a really beautiful fall here in good old Cleveland, Ohio. It'll be mid-60s, but mid-60s this week and then into the weekend.
That means the winter is going to be long. So it typically is not going to start until after Christmas, where it starts snowing, and then it's not going to end until April.
Well, my dad said to me a while ago, and I kind of think it's true. He said, he was like, I think the falls, like the warmer weather is lasting longer, and the colder weather is, leading more into
I gotta go look at the
spring.
Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah. See if they predict Browns wins in there.
The Browns are going to be. Listen, the Browns have found a recipe, and all they got to do is just stick to the recipe. And if they can do that, they would be. Yeah,
stick to the recipe from last night. Yes,
they would have a lot of chances to win a lot of games. Even like Miami, Detroit kind of exposed Miami a little bit. Miami's problem is they start very slow, but they finish unbelievable. Like, they have one of the best finishing I've seen this season, where it's been a bunch of games where they've been down and they come back and win. So the Browns just have to play hard for 4 quarters. With Buffalo, they are a little vulnerable on the run game. I think the Green Bay Packers exposed that just a tad bit, that you can't run the ball there. But I think that game will be closer than people expect. But the thing I like about the Browns is this: as young as they are, they're not scared of no moment, and they play up to whatever it is. And for some odd reason, when everybody's watching them, they play better. So I think that they might shock us and actually play these games pretty darn good.
I hope. There's definitely a chance there. So we'll have to see. All right. Well, that does it for us. This episode of the Orange is Oranger, Cleveland Browns podcast. We will be back next week to talk a little bit Miami and then the season and schedule going forward. Playoff chances are still, I think it's at like 12%.
18.
I'll take what I can.
18.
Oh, it's 18?
Don't shortchange us.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Hey, as long as it ain't 0.
Yeah. Well, make sure to like and subscribe to the pod. Give us a good rating. Write us a little note. Tweet at us. We're here for you.
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, I almost called you Taj. Tyvis, please do the honors and close us out.
Hey, you know what? It feels good to be able to do it because it's not. But go Browns. We are back, baby. Let's go. Super Bowl. Here we go.